Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, podcast Pete, and community coach and author. And I have another author on the podcast that it's beautiful when authors get together because there's always a story behind a book. So, Maureen, tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and who you serve, and then we'll get into our podcast.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me, and good morning to you, and good morning to all our listeners. My name is Maureen Gicharu. My background is in healthcare as a family nurse practitioner. I also serve in the military, which is an honor to serve the country. And
Mhm.
I'm also an author of the book Imagine as Your Best Self.
Ooh.
You have to get the coffee.
I love
And I am excited to be here. And we also run, I'm a part of administrator of Morena Home Care Agency.
awesome. So when I've been around people, and they'll sometimes say when they know I wrote a book or two, they'll say, "Yeah, I've always wanted to write a book," and I say, "Well, why haven't you?" Oh, someday. So tell our viewers, like, when you came up with the idea, what was that process like? Because it does take discipline to start and finish a book. So give our viewers an idea of that journey for you.
Well, for me, I never thought I was going to write a book. So for me, it was an inspiration. My background is I'm a Christian, so it
Hmm.
was inspiration from a vision from God. At
Hmm.
that time, I was going to church and doing the religious thing, but I didn't have the relationship with God. So
Hmm.
when He gave me the vision, I kind of put it aside. I was like, no. How about you give it to my sister? She's the A student. How about you give it to my other siblings? They're the more social. I'm more the introvert. Why me? So
Hmm.
it was a wrestling. And then a few bucks later, after I developed the relationship with God, it was clear that He doesn't choose the people who look like they're complete. He chooses you so He can mold you. So this time, I was obedient, and as soon as He told me, I just started working on it. For me, is I'm very driven and goal oriented. So for me, putting those deadline really helped me, and also creating, because I was also juggling school and work. So really setting time like 30 minutes every day, and also having my eldest sister, accountability person, to kind of keep me on track.
Ooh, that's so good because I have a person in my church, and we were going. He's written several books, and we were having a conversation, and I just was at that point where accountability does matter, and so I would write every morning, and I would text him that I finished my writing. So tell me about accountability. For the viewers that haven't written a book, that want to write a book, how did accountability help you to complete the book?
Uh, First of all, accountability, it keeps you vulnerable, because you have to be open for somebody else to pour to you, to challenge in you. Like you said, you put this deadline. You say you're gonna write today for 30 minutes. Why didn't you write that? So there's the vulnerability there. There's the accountability holding in you to your standard. But mostly, what they do is they really help you and guide you to make sure that you are focused, and you stay attuned to whatever goals or deadline you are. So accountability, it's very, very important.
Hmm.
Mhm.
What do you think? You're in a servant role, serving seniors, serving veterans. Did you find that back when you were a little girl, or how did you develop that servant heart?
I think it's being around my two favorite people, my grandmother and my grandfather.
Hmm.
So being there, I always thought like these people are just so cool. They have lots of wisdom. They will tell me lots of stories. So when they started having crisis in healthcare, my grandmother dementia, my grandfather cancer, it really broke my heart. And I was like, no, these people have been pouring out to me every time. Now
Hmm.
it's my time to navigate and know how to serve them. So I've always had the heart of being around elderly people, and really I enjoy and I love serving elderly people.
Mm.
Yeah.
When you look at your daily routine, how do you prepare yourself for a day? Because serving seniors can be very difficult because of just the demands on our physical body, on our just our schedule. How do you prepare yourself for the day?
I believe what I do is I'm a stickler at my calendar.
Hmm.
So I love my to-do list. So before I sleep, then the next day I already have like this is what I plan to do. And then also having a team, because you can't do it by yourself.
Hmm.
Having like a trusted team, like they trust me to lead them and guide them, and vice versa. I trust with them. I trust to work together. So those two things, that's what, and of course, my faith in God. That's what keeps me going and helps me keep everything together.
Yes, that's beautiful. Team building is something, it's a skill. What would you say to our viewers? What's the best team building tip you might be able to share with our community?
Wow. How many hours do we have on that?
Yeah, you're right. There's not one thing, but I just like to because you're busy, you have a busy schedule. I want our viewers to glean, the most from Maureen. So, what would be the best one that you found that has paid the best dividend for you and your team?
I think for me, what I and I'm continue learning is it always starts with you. So you can have a team, but if you don't know how to lead, how to
Hmm.
get feedback, so I always start with me. What kind of a leader what kind of a leader I am,
Hmm.
and from there it's like when I start looking for, let's say, if it's an assistant or if it's a trusted caregiver or registered nurse, how do I bring them to my team? First of all, it's like I want to know the person before I know the professional, because we in the elderly population is more like you don't want to put just anybody. You want to put somebody who has quality, somebody who can trust, and it's a safe place.
Hmm.
So we get to know the person, their personality, what's important to them, and also knowing, is it a good fit for us or is it a good fit for them. So
Hmm.
ultimately, and then also what we do with the team is having those weekly meetings where we get feedback to each other. It's like, okay, where can we improve on this area, or vice versa? Can you give me a feedback? What kind of a leader am I? What areas can I improve so we can all work together? So team building is a skill, and also really doing conferences kind of help you learn different strategies, because sometimes you may think you're doing good, but there's something that you need to stretch, there's a new skill you need to learn. So really going out there, conference, learning how successful people doing this,
Hmm.
and putting yourself there. So it evolves a lot. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, when somebody will ask me a similar question, it's a journey of learning.
Mhm.
And one of the things when I started 4.5 years ago doing podcasts, I had no earthly idea what I was doing. I was losing podcasts. I was forgetting I'd have multiple people on. I'd forget to ask this person the question. But, you just keep figuring things out. What would you say when you finish your day and you're looking and reflecting on that day? Do you do anything like journal? Do you do anything to help you think better and to learn faster?
Uh, I love doing gratitude journey because sometimes you may have to-do list of 5 things, and then unfortunately things happen and you are only able to accomplish one.
Hmm.
So being grateful that, hey, I was able to achieve that one and not really beating up on yourself.
Hmm.
Another thing I do is meditation and yoga. That
Hmm.
kind of really helps me decompress and come back more to myself and bring back my energy, because you are really pouring out to others. So how do you pour back to yourself? So really having that, doing yoga and meditation, and really having that gratitude journal saying, hey, I wanted to accomplish for 5 things today, but I was only able to accomplish one, so I celebrate the one that I was able to accomplish.
That is beautiful. As you were just sharing, my next question was your energy level. Because when you're in senior care, when you're serving, we see a lot of the caretakers really pouring so much out, they don't take care of themselves sometimes. So go a little bit deeper, like when did you find yoga? When did you find meditation? And how has it helped you with your energy level?
I really started yoga back in high school as one of those ed classes. And at, at that time, I thought it was just a fun hobby thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But when I realized it was actually really doing something to myself. So it was building strength, it was being able to get back to myself, rejuvenate, and it really gave me a sense of stability. And it also a time where I put my phone away. There's no distraction. It's where like I am pouring to myself. I am strengthening those muscles. So that's how I found yoga. And then I realized the importance of really exercising, because it really it gives you those endorphins, and gives
Yes.
you that energy. So that's how I came about yoga. And from then, even I remember one of my nephew, one time my sister, I have different color of yoga mats, and so that's the first thing I will do when I get up. So one time, my nephew, I don't know, for some reason, got up before me, and somebody took my mat away. And he said, "Who took my auntie's mat?" Like, that's what she does. So I didn't even know. I was just doing it, but I didn't
Yeah.
know like there were people watching me too. So
Yes.
it was very interesting. So, and now, also now being an adult, juggling different things,
Yes.
it has really, really helped me a lot.
Ooh, that is so beautiful. The average person watches 4 hours of TV and they'll scroll like 2.5 hours of, say, TikTok videos, and they're consuming other people's lives. How do you stay focused and how do you help yourself continue to create? What do you have certain things you do that keeps you in that mindset?
Uh so a few things I do is, even if I'm looking at social media, I put like a timer, so
Mm-hmm.
that way, because we're all humans, we can
Yes.
all get carried away. So I put timers. Okay, I'm gonna go to check on Instagram, I'm gonna be on Facebook or whatever the social media is. I put a timer like, hey, after 10 minutes or whatever minutes that I said to do, the timer is off, I'm logging out. So
Mm-hmm.
those like timers really help me not spend too much on social media or things that really don't really serve me at that point. So that's one way that really keeps me focused.
That is beautiful. We look at our day, and there's so much that we learn throughout the day. Do you have habits that you have used that have served you well in your journey?
Um I'm pretty sure different habits I have is I think also comes back from really growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and things that I have, like being in the military, picked up on. So I would say starting growing up, childhood, they really taught us, when you get up, you gotta pray, do your prayers.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta work hard because life it's not gonna be given to you. You have to put in. So those are like the foundation that my parents gave me, and
Mm-hmm.
then really serving in the military, discipline. Get up, you gotta do your exercise. You gotta be structured. You gotta be focused. I think those habits have continued to really help me. And also, I love really reading books.
Mm-hmm.
So, like reading books like Atomic Habits. Sometimes we think they're the big things, but not really. It's just the little tiny changes that we make that really, at the end of the day, that or long term, that really helps.
Yeah, I love Atomic Habits, and I there's only about five newsletters that I receive, and one of them is by James Clear, 321. And so, yeah, and it helped me to develop, like, I go to the gym 6 days a week, and then I'm in physical therapy and occupational therapy the other day. But when I started stacking all these positive things, it just became a routine. And then once you get into a routine,
Yes.
it's just like that's just part of your day.
Yes.
What would you say when you received your book in the mail and you had that sense of, man, I wrote this book, I finished it, and now it's in my hand. What was that feeling like for you?
Wow. I think it was, to me, I felt like it was overwhelming. It was fulfilling. It's like, first of all, I knew the book and the story, it wasn't about me. It was really about God using me. And I was like, wow, it's like, look what obedience does to you. Look how you're gonna inspire other people.
Hmm?
It was filled with gratitude. It was surreal. A girl from a small village in Mweki, here you are writing books. So it was just grateful, just fulfilling, and just like so amazing.
Yes, it's beautiful when you on the other side of hard work and you see the fruits of
Yes.
your labor. I had a person on my podcast, this was a couple years ago, and we didn't know how we connected. But at age 5, he found himself in a concentration camp in a country that had no freedoms. and there was persecution. There was a lot of things going on. Not your typical pre-K upbringing.
Mm.
But what he said was this. He used the term PTSD, and he said, take the D and put G for growth.
Oh, wow.
Do you have a time in your life that was at the time very difficult for you, but when you got on the other side of it, you found that Maureen grew more than she's ever grown? Was there a time that you could share that made that impact on you and your growth?
Yeah, so one particular time I can think of is so growing back in Kenya, I grew up in a boarding school. So me and my sister and my sibling pretty early, I believe I was in my fifth grade. So
Mm-hmm.
that's really early. So that's where in boarding school you don't really have parents, so it's a culture where you learn how to be to create friends, to how to discern, how to choose good friends, how to adapt to new environment. How do you cultivate this? It's a place where you can't just call your parents. They come twice visiting day, and that's it. So you really learn how to navigate quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So that really I didn't know how I was gonna be able to navigate it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like when you put in that environment, it's amazing how you did. I came out okay, and then when I immigrated here to United States, now it comes the challenge. You're a teenager being put in this country, different country, continent. How do you navigate this?
Mm-hmm.
So it came back from there. It's like I didn't know being in boarding school was preparing me for life.
Mm-hmm.
Because here it's like, okay, your parents are not here. Okay, you don't know anybody. You don't know the culture. You don't know the custom. How do you navigate? The school system is different. I mean, whole different. So that is like, okay, now it's like those skills now are coming in handy. And
Mm-hmm.
then also being in the military, you don't know how you're going to navigate. You have to
Mm-hmm.
learn the structures, you have to learn being resilient, you have to learn like you don't just wake up whenever you wake up, you wake up whenever they tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Mission comes first. So I think all those together that I didn't really think at the moment, like in being in boarding school, was, you're a kid, you don't even think about that, but those, I believe, they help me being able to navigate here in this country. And not saying like my story is better or different, it's just this is how I was able to navigate in this country as a teenager, because you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You're also trying to find your identity, and now in the mix, a new country, new school system, it's like new food culture. Like, how do you do that? But in all that, it's amazing how everything just comes together.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe like really resilience, if I had to say anything, that's one thing that really stands out to me.
That is beautiful. You know, when I met you at the senior event, I always impress when people are just welcoming, kind. What is a relationship tip that you could share with our viewers that you've learned in your journey that kind of gives that openness and that connection to people? Do you have anything that you would be able to share with our viewers?
I would say like there's something about smiling that
Mm-hmm.
really connects to people.
Yes.
So that's one thing. Smile more. I'll say another thing is be kind.
Yes.
I'll say being authentic, be yourself,
Yes.
and also really learn to get to know who the person is, because I was more interested in knowing who Pete is. And then you told me you have a podcast, and I'm like, no, I want to know who you are. And that's how we really started
Yeah.
talking. And it's through talking, through having those conversations that you get to know me and I get to know you. So I would say those are the three things I would say.
Oh, that's beautiful. You know, we learn so much in our journey as we, just navigate life. If you had to give a 20-year-old Maureen a tip that you have learned that you want to share with your 20-year-old self, what would that be?
Wow. Uh, I would say, first of all, I used to be a worry. I used to worry about a lot,
Yeah.
a lot, a lot. So I would tell Maureen that don't worry, everything's gonna be okay. I would say also you don't have to have everything figured out or
Yeah.
everything get together. I would say everything will work out. I will say sometimes you're quick to want to finish one thing and complete and do the other one. Like, for example, it's like when I completed my first book, I was like, oh, now I know the process of editing, refining. Like, I'm so quick. I'm like, now I can write another book. I'm like, no, 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 no. Take time to celebrate,
Yes.
nurture yourself. Make sure you know what season you are. Don't try to speed up or try to rush anything. Which season am I? Decide
Hmm.
the season, enjoy that season. That way, when it comes to the next season, Maureen is ready.
Mm.
I would say also, just know that cast your fears to God. Um, know that you put God in everything you do, and
Hmm.
everything will work out. And then I would say also continue being kind to other people. Um, don't ever try to fit in or compare yourself with other. Like
Hmm.
your authentic self, people will love who you are.
Hmm.
And don't try to hide behind people. It's okay. Take that bold step, and you never know.
Yes, that is beautiful. What is Maureen most excited about in the future?
I think I'm excited to know what's my next chapter gonna be like. Uh, because when I look back, I feel like some of these things I don't think I envisioned to,
Hmm.
but um, but I had prepared. So what I am looking forward for the future is I'm excited to see what's next, whether it's in my business, whether it's in my relationship, how to grow, a- any other opportunities. I'm
Hmm.
excited, but more like continue growing, continue getting yourself in that uncomfortable places,
Hmm.
because that's when the growth comes, that's when the stretch comes. Continue going to networking and meeting people like Pete.
Yeah,
So I am excited of what the future holds. Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
We see technology changing the world we live in, and I serve over at Kennesaw Mountain High School with these are sophomores now. They were freshmen last year, and they don't have like the perspective that you and I have lived life and understand all that. How are you how are you embracing a changing technology like AI? And what advice would you give to a younger person just kind of starting their career out?
First of all, I'll say you can't fight change. You just have to learn to embrace it,
Mhm.
just step by step. A good example is when I used to work at the hospital. We did paper charting, and we were so comfortable with it. And then came the transition where everything had to be electronic.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all panicking. It's like, what do we do? Like, we are so used to, and now it's like this system we are now have to learn. It's like the doctors, the nurses, like it was just like the panic and that and all that. And then all of a sudden we just took it, one by one day at a time. We started doing the training, the electronic. And then now we are like, how did we even do the paper chatting? Because this is so easy. This is making our work easier for the physicians. Like we are able to pull medical information quickly in case of anything. So I would say at first it might feel overwhelming.
Yes.
Don't fight it. Just takes one step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we just have to learn the why behind it. It's like if we knew like the electronic will be like, faster, we're gonna chat more, it's gonna be more accessible. So learning the why, that's gonna really help navigating and just staying at the course, because eventually even with the AI, um, at first we are like, oh, now the AI. But once you really know the AI, it's like these are tools. They're gonna, instead of working 5 hours, it's gonna help you cut hours, 2 hours. You're gonna have more, maybe if you have a family, more time with your family, more time with yourself. So learning the why before, instead of just like, hey, the why, the AI, or the electronic, now we are moving that. I think that's how we all gonna be able to navigate through, because change we're always gonna get change. We just
Yes.
have to learn to embrace the change and adapt to it and be flexible.
That is so good. We learn from our, you walked away with a lesson through the journey of failure that you could share with our viewers?
Hmm. I think it froze a little bit. Can you repeat the
Yeah.
question?
We learn through our failures. Was there a time in your life that you failed at something, but you walked away with a valuable lesson that helped Maureen get stronger?
Oh yeah. I continue to fail.
Mhm.
That's part of life. Uh,
Mhm.
and I think I read one of the books. I think it was, I can't remember the author, but it was saying the most successful people are with the ones with failures.
Mhm.
So I remember when I joined the military, I was really feeling like I wasn't the most physical person.
Mhm.
So I would, let's say, would run 5 miles and I would not be able to make it, or do different tacticals.
Mhm.
And I'll see some of my fellow soldier be able to complete the task, and I would not be able to. And it really started weighing on me. And I remember along the way, one of my friends, colleague that we call them battle buddies.
Uh-huh.
She kept encouraging me. He's like, "You can do this. It's not the end. You got this." And then it's like it just started ingraining in me, and
Mhm.
uh, I quit beating on myself. And then now when we had like those resting moment or quiet, I would start like working on my, how do I increase my speed to running. So
Hmm.
I'll start working on that, and I started increasing my running, my strength. So I think, but I was really beating on myself. It was like, I should be like them, like they're running, and here I can't even make it to the 5 miles, and I'm supposed to. So for me, that was like shocking, and I was really beating myself. But thankful I had a friend that really encouraged me. And I always wanted to do better in everything. So really I started seeing, okay, how can I increase my running time? If it's push up or whatever tactics we are doing, how can I be better? And then all of a sudden I started getting better. I could run, I could keep up, I could do the physical strength. So I would say anybody out there that has have failures,
Hmm.
that don't really beat up on yourself, because that's what we do. We really tend to really beat on ourselves.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
so
say,
true.
yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I do a lot of self-talking, and very seldom do I say something for the first time. It's always I've said it to myself. Do you have a form of self-talk that has honored you, and do you do that on a regular basis?
Yes, I do have a lot of affirmations
Mm-hmm.
that I do tell myself, like, Maureen, you got this, you can do this, and also really meditating on the Word of God. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, what does the Word of God says? So that keeps me going. Let's say in business where I feel like, hey, I'm not where I'm not supposed to do, but you feel like you're putting in the work. So really having those affirmation and being reminded, that really keeps my mindset and
Mm-hmm.
really keeps me going.
That is so good. I want to be respectful of your time, so I have one more question after this. But tell our viewers, how can they get a hold of Maureen if they want to purchase your book or they want to use your services with seniors and with veterans?
Yeah, so what I would say is my book really imagine as your best self by tapping into your full potential.
Hmm?
The three core messages is really, the first one is the power of your voice. So whatever your background, your nationality, or your personality, your voice have the power. So I would say that would be like the first thing that they would get on the book. The second one is betting on yourself. Nobody's gonna come out there. You have to believe in yourself before believe in you. So start that business, write that book, whatever it is you have really bet on yourself.
Hmm.
And the last thing is really on resilience. We are all resilience in our own unique wealth. So
Yes.
those are the three takeaway on my book, and
Hmm.
it's available currently on Amazon.
Hmm.
It's also available in Barnes and Noble, and also available through my website, www.imagineasyourbestself.com.
Hmm.
So, and also for Morena Home Care Agency, if they need help with their loved ones, veterans or seniors, they can visit our website, www.morenahomecare.com, and
Hmm.
we'll be honored to help them with their loved one or help them navigate to other resources that they may need.
Awesome. And if you're listening to this and you're driving, we don't want you to have to write and drive. We'll put in the show notes what Maureen just shared with you so you can click, get her book, be able to, find out more about her services so you can have her and her team come in to help you and a loved one. So Keep that in mind and share this with people you know that want to meet Maureen, because when you find people that have that heart to serve or in there serving and making a difference in the community, we never want that to be a best kept secret. So get out there and share this, and we appreciate you there. So, Maureen, what would be the one thing you would want our viewers to take home from our time on this podcast?
The one thing is, I would say actually, first of all, thank you so much for having me and the time here. The second one is, I would say, it's kind of hard to talk about everything. I would say, really, get my book. Just even if it's not for yourself, you can buy it to your kids. Especially, I have a heart of serving elders and generations. And I will also say that be part of a community. There's
Yes,
something about a community because we can in this life we need each other. So be
yes.
part of community, be part of serving. I would say one of my favorite quote that I would end with is as Maya Angelou says, when you get, you give. When you learn, you teach.
Mm,
So I would say, whenever you get little, just give. Whenever you learn something, teach, and also continue serving in whatever facet. You may not be able. I think Mother Teresa says, you may not be able to feed 1,000, but you can feed one.
mhm.
It only starts with one, and it only takes one to be able to serve others and make that impact.
Ooh, that is so good. Maureen, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show and to share your journey with our community and our viewers. We appreciate you very, very much.